want to steal any spotlight from Twins manager Tom Kelly or put heat on Reds manager Pete Rose in the town where he won 5 divisional titles and 863 games. Today, Sparky was adding to his legend in Detroit, looking for his 800th Tiger managing victory, but he'd have to do it against the league-leading Oakland A's. Second inning, Bob Welch pitching. Evans launches this to right. It's gone. A solo home run, his 12th of the year. 1-0 Tigers. On to the third. Lou Whitaker at the plate, and he goes out to right center. This one is way back as well off the facade. A 3-run shot, his 6th home run of the year. 4-0 Tigers. In the 8th, Jose Canseco, there's that patented swing off Henneman out to left and way back, his 24th. A solo home run, and they're to within 1-4-3. But Mark McGuire, who has the power as well, pops out to third to Todd Brookins to end the game. And Sparky picks up his 800th victory in Detroit. And he's the first manager to win 800 games in both leagues. Frank Tanana gives up just 5 hits over 6 innings in picking up his 11th win of the year. Welch takes just his 5th loss against 10 victories. In Minnesota, the Twins and the Brewers. What a game this one was. Teddy Higuera missed his last 2 starts, was hitless after 3 2/3. Then Kirby Puckett steps in and says, I'll take care of that. The curveball is gone to left. 2-out solo home run, his 65th RBI, 11th home run, and we're tied at 1. Al Newman started at third for Gaetti. And he hits this one with 2 out, bases loaded single. Brian Harper scores. Mark Davidson scores. 4-run inning for the Twins in the 4th, and they're on top 4-1. 4-2 in the 8th. Dale Swaim takes Anderson out to right field. Johnny Moses is back at the wall, leaps up and comes up with the great grab and ends the Brewer rally. Still 4-2 for the Twins. But the Brewers jump all over Jeff Reardon in the 9th. Jim Gantner comes through with the pinch hit, 2-out single. In comes Hamilton. Paul Molitor beats the throw. 4 consecutive hits, 2-run score with 2 out, and the Brewers are on top 5-4. And the Brewers get the win as Dan Plesac comes in and puts the cap on things to pick up his 21st save, but Jeff Reardon just could not hang on. Krim, pitching 1 2/3, gets the victory. California and Cleveland, 8-5 was the final this afternoon. Armas with a 3-run home run in the 6th. Brian Harvey gets the win in relief of Witt. The Indians lose for the 3rd consecutive time.
And the Kansas City Royals with a 2-game winning streak with a chance tonight to get back to within 6.5 games of the AL West lead in the middle game of a 3-game series against the Yankees in New York. Into the 9th inning now, with the Yankees leading this game 5-3. Jerry Dunn leading on in relief for the Royals. Charlie Hudson trying to pick up the save for the Yankees. Willie Wilson has singled in a couple in this game for the Royals, and the big shot for the Yankees, a 2-run single from Rafael Santana. The White Sox in game 2, and he was firing, getting Dwight Evans looking. But Roger Clemens going for the Red Sox. Early on, he gets touched up here. Darrell Boston in Chicago against Boston. Takes it out. Nobody aboard. Number 10 for Boston against Boston, and the White Sox up 1-0. But Clemens, a rocket on the road, and has been all year. There he gets Dan Pasqua, and he gets Greg Walker. Roger Clemens, 15 strikeouts tonight. 12 straight batters retired. Tied had 1 in the 6th. Pasqua bouncing it to right past Jody Reed. Gary Reed is coming around. Todd Benzinger with the throw. Safe at the plate. 2-1 White Sox. Now into the 9th. 1-run lead for the White Sox is gone. Todd Benzinger off John Davis ties the game. Number 4 on the year for Todd into the 10th. The Sox load the bases. Ellis Burks with a single off Ricky Horton. Jody Reed. Dwight Evans, they're coming in. 6 runs in the 10th inning. Doing it for the Red Sox. They split with the White Sox last night. They split again tonight with the White Sox. Game 2 goes 10 innings, and the final was 8-2. Clemens, 15 strikeouts, 8 innings pitched, giving up only 3 hits. But Lee Smith comes on and picks up the victory. He has had his problems of late, but the Sox salvage the split. Now the Blue Jays with problems, and they had them from the Mariners today. Mariners leading here. Jays will tie the game in the 1st inning when Bell puts it to left, and Greg Briley just makes this into a total adventure. And eventually, this would tie the game at 1 apiece later in the inning. Now tied at 2, leading up the 4th. Briley with his first Major League home run takes Todd Stottlemyre out, and Seattle leads this game 3-2. Now, this play should have ended the inning. Scott Bradley at the plate, who was 4 for 4 tonight. A little bouncer, Manny Lee throws it wildly. Ray Quinones will score. That makes it 4-2. They go to the bullpen for Eichhorn, and Mark facing Steve Balboni. Goodbye. The 2nd straight day that bye-bye has bye-bye to baseball. His 4th homer as a Mariner that made it 7-2. A 5-run 4th inning in which 10 Mariners came to the plate. Mariners win at 9-3. Bradley 4 for 4, all singles. Quinones with a 12-game hit streak, and Clancy with his first relief appearance in some 9 years, 282 starts. Also tonight, Rangers lose to Baltimore by the count of 4-1. In this game, Jim Traber and Ken Gerhardt had back-to-back home runs. The O's have rediscovered the long ball. They have won 7 of 12, and in their last 20 games, they have some 27 home runs. It's hard to believe when you look at nearly 4,700 career strikeouts, well over 200 victories. And today, Ryan, pitching against the franchise it all began with over 20 years ago, inscribed his name on a record alone with Cy Young. It took a while to get there against the Mets for Nolan. They battered him about. Even Sid Fernandez got a piece of the action here in the second inning with an RBI single to bring in Dave Magin. And the Mets built a 3-0 lead. However, Rick Aguilera on relief of Fernandez, and he couldn't hold matters. Here in the fifth, Glenn Davis brings in Gerald Young. And this game under glass in the Dome's tied at 3. And then Billy Hatcher, who takes this one to center. Lenny Dykstra plays it in. First, the call on Davis is out. Now you're safe, and Bruce Frawley made the right call because you get a bird's-eye center field view. Sasser never held on to the baseball. 6-4, the Astros take the lead, and Nolan Ryan getting offensive support, which he has not gotten of late. Howard Johnson gets punched out. And there goes Mackie Sasser as well to end Nolan Ryan's 5-game losing streak, and he joins Cy Young as the only pitcher to win 100 games for a team in either league. 5 strikeouts today for Ryan. He has 130 to lead the National League. Career total 46-77. The final, Houston 6 and the Mets 3. Now get out your calculators. We're going to Candlestick. And Whitey, if you knew what you were about to see, I think you'd use black paint on those shades. Don't watch this. Kelly Downs going for the Giants, trying to get the 4th straight shutout for the Giants. Downs looking good. Just ask Tom Brunansky. Here in the second, the Giants start the carnage. Bob Melvin takes this double deep to left center field. Melvin also with a homer today. This will score Kevin Mitchell. Giants up 1-0. It's 2-0 win. Chris Fire playing today for Robbie Thompson. Dumps a little double down the right side to bring in Kelly Downs, and Brett Butler make it 4-0. Into the 5th inning with a 5-2 lead. The Giants keep the hits on coming. Spire takes Bob Forsch out. Kurt Ford's going to give it a good look, and the old college try at 6-2 Giants. And then Kevin Mitchell takes Forsch out with a couple of men aboard. Chris Spire today hit for the cycle. He entered the game hitting 191, 21 runs on 20 hits for the Giants. The most runs the Giants have ever scored since they moved to San Francisco. Spire hits for the cycle. He did it almost 10 years ago. It's his first 5-hit game in his 18-year Major League career. And Ernest Riles with a home run, the Giants' 10,000th home run as a franchise. A lot of numbers today on the Bay.
With the All-Star spotlight set to shine on Cincinnati, the Reds could not have picked a better time to pick up speed. Winners of 7 of their last 11, the Reds still have a haul to catch the front-running Dodgers, but they try to start against the Phillies. The kids were looking on as the Phillies' Bruce Ruffin throws this wild pitch. So upset he forgets to cover home. So Barry Larkin says, "Thank you very much. I'll score all the way from second." He's in there, and we're tied at 1. Top of the 5th, still 1-1. Phil Bradley jacks this one to the opposite field, out to right. A 2-run home run off Browning. Tracy Jones has the wall in his way, 3-1 for the Phillies. But hold on, the Phillies find a way to blow this one. John Russell tries to get Sabo, stealing second. He gets by Barrett. Cal Daniels comes in to score from third, and it's just a 3-2 lead for the Phillies. The wheels continue to come off as Nick Osaski crunches the Colby sidearm offering deep to left center field. A 2-run home run, and the Reds have a 6-3 lead as the Phillies cannot hold the lead. You see Osaski 3 for 4 with the home run and 3 runs knocked in as well. John Russell also had a home run for the Phillies, but in the losing cause. In Atlanta, the Braves and the red-hot Montreal Expos win it 9-4. They've now won 9 of their last 10. Hubie Brooks with 3 runs batted in, and Andres Galarraga, perhaps the best player in the National League right now, picks up his 20th home run of the year. San Diego has a 3-0 lead over Chicago.
Top of the 4th, Pirates with a runner on first. Bobby Bonilla takes off for second. Socha's throw is off target, but wait a minute. Darnell Coles interferes. Watch the replay. It shows that Coles bat, and now his face will get in Socha's way. He's called out. Bonilla has to return to first. But later in the inning, 2-men aboard. Mike LaValliere tags Sean Hilligus deep to right field. Well, not so deep over the 330 mark, but it's gone anyway. 3-0 Pirates. Same scenario in the 6th. 2 men aboard. Barry Bonds. That's a home run, folks. Deep into right center. Tags Orozco. 3-run shot. 6-0 Pirates. Dodgers never really threatened on the night. Jeff Robinson in to mop up for Mike Dunn in the 9th. Pans Franklin Stubbs for the final out. 8-2 your final as Jim Leland's Bucks go for the sweep against the Dodgers on Sunday. There's your final once again, 8-2. Pirates cut the Mets lead in the East to only 4.5. LaValliere was 3 for 3. He had only one homer in over 300 at-bats last season. Now, at the Astrodome, Houston looked for their second straight win and got it against the Mets. Nolan Ryan trying to snap a personal 5-game skid. In the second, Mets up 2-0, and Sid Fernandez batting near 300 as a pitcher. Slaps one to left. Dave Magadan rounds third and scores 3-0 New York. Sid would not last, and he'd be replaced by Rick Aguilera. Bottom of the fifth, Glenn Davis strokes one to center. Gerald Young will score, ties it at 3. Nightmare in the fifth continue for New York now 4-3. Hatcher with a base hit. Len Dykstra throws home. Looks like Glenn Davis is out. But watch the replay on the other angle. Mackey Sasser never had it. He loses the ball, and it's 5-3 Astros. They'd score 4 runs to make it 6-4. But the big story was Ryan. He punches out Hojo. That's heat, folks, looking in the 6th and into the 6th by getting Mackey Sasser swinging at the breaking pitch. Astros win it 6-3. Nolan Ryan with the victory. The 41-year-old strikeout king becomes the first in Cy Young to win 100 games for a single team in both leagues. He now has 4,677 career strikeouts. At Jack Murphy, the Padres look to keep the Cubs in their slump. Padres leading 2-0 in the third. Sutcliffe pitching to former Cub Keith Moreland. Solid base hit to left. Tony Gwynn comes around third. Palmeiro's throw cut off. The Padres up 3-0. Mark Gray stepped up for the Cubs in the 5th inning. Chicago trailing 4-0. He rips one deep to left center, but watch Marvell Wynn get on his horse. Over-the-shoulder basket catch. Hey, what does he say? Hey, kid or something? That's a fine catch. Cubs again to put something together in the 7th. After 3 straight singles, make it 4 straight. Vance Law knocking in Palmeiro and Sandberg. The lead's cut to 4-2. But the Cubs squandered their chances for more runs in the inning. Benito Santiago from his knees picks off Vance Law, napping at second easily. Cubs went out quietly from there. San Diego winning it the final 4-2. The Cubs have now dropped 4 straight, while Ed Whitson won his 5th straight decision. Mark Davis came on and mopped up for his 16th save. At Fulton County, the Expos wanted to remain red hot against the Braves, and they did battle. Tim Raines, fresh off the 15-day DL. Well, there's a first pitch he's seen in 2 weeks. Base hit. Past Thomas, 2-run score, 6-0 Expos after 2. Blowout was completed by All-Star Andres Galarraga. He takes Ed Olwine deep to left. This is the launching pad, and that one's out of here. His 20th of the year. Galarraga and the Expos breezed by the Braves. Your final 9-4. The Expos have won 10 of their last 12, 6 in a row. Dennis Martinez won for the 6th time in his last 7 decisions. At Riverfront, the Reds and Phillies went head-to-head, and you can't beat fun at the ball yard. Bottom of the 3rd, fills up 1-0. Bruce Ruffin throws a wild one. He's so bummed that, well, he forgets to cover home, so Barry Larkin says, hey, I'm going to score all the way from second, and he does. It's tied at 1. Top of the 5th, we're still tied at 1. Phil Bradley jacks this one to the opposite field, and it is gone. A 2-run homer against Tom Browning, 3-1 in favor of the Phillies. But hold on, the Fields would blow this one in the 5th. Catcher John Russell tries to get Sabo stealing second. It gets away from Tommy Barrett. Cal Daniels will score from 3rd, 3-2 Phil. The wheels continue to come off for Philly in the 7th. Nick Asaski crunches this one, and it's deep to left center. Out of there. 2-run shot. The Reds led 6-3, and the Phils couldn't hold on to their advantage. There's your final 6-3. The Reds have now won 5 of their last 7. John Franco pitched the 9th for his 13th save. Phils remain 1.5 behind St. Louis in last place in the East. Stay with us. We'll swing to the American League action up next after we take a short timeout. We'll look at the top teams in the league as the Tigers and A's battled in Game 3 at Motown. And could cigarette ads be eliminated from out of the second? 1-1 with 1 on and 1 out. Young Randy Velarde lines it by Ted Power into center. Willie Wilson bobbles it. Claudell Washington will score. 2-1 New York. Bottom of the 4th now. 2 on and 1 out. Joel Skinner drives one deep to center field. This one winds up hitting off the wall, and Jose Cruz motors around 3rd. 3-1 in favor of the Yankees. Top of the 7th, the Yankees build their lead to 5-1. 2 on. Willie Wilson makes up for that bobble with the base hit off Rick Rhoden. Frank White and Bo Jackson come home. It's 5-3. But what's happened, or what's haunted Pinella's Yankees so far has been a lack of a closer. Top of the 9th, bases loaded and 2 out. Charles Hudson, who relieved an ineffective Rigetti in the 8th, gets the Yankees out of there. Kevin Seitzer hops out to Willie Randolph, and the Yanks hold on for a 5-3 victory. In his last 3 starts, Ted Power, who only went 3 2/3 on the night, has allowed 15 runs, 23 hits. He's coming off a sore elbow.
4 runs scored, 5 runs driven in. It's the second time he's hit for the cycle in his career. He becomes the first Giant ever to hit for the cycle at Candlestick Park. By the way, the last Giant, as you can see, to hit for the cycle was Candy Maldonado. He did it, of course, against the Cards last season. San Francisco Slugger, it was the second Major League team. By the way, the last home run by Riles was the 10,000th in the history of the Giants. They join only the Yankees to have that many in their team history. They scored a club record 21 runs. They hadn't homered since the 1st of July. They made up for it today with 5. And then those 4 guys, Spire, Clark, Melvin, and Mitchell, at 19 at-bats. And look at this, 14 hits, 14 runs, 15 RBIs, 4 home runs. Well, it all adds up to the biggest start of the year so far, no doubt about that. Meanwhile, Riverfront Stadium, things a little bit closer, not much closer, though. Great balancing act out there in the stands. The National League been murdering the Braves the past week or so, and as a result, the Braves pitchers let them know about it. Rick Mailer in relief decks him a little chin music with Jose Alvarez on the mound then for the Braves in relief. Galarraga, this game was a rout by this point. Grounds 1 to co-all-star Gerald Perry, who flips towards Alvarez, who makes a great play to get Galarraga. Galarraga was 0 for 4 until the 8th inning, and you knew the big cat wasn't going to stay 0 for very long. He launched his 20th home run of the year. Expos simply blow him out. Former Brave Pascual Perez among those congratulating Andres Galarraga. 9-4. Montreal is red hot. They've won 6 straight, 9 of 10. They're closing in on the Chicago Cubs. About the last team you want to break out of a slump against is the New York Mets, but such was the case this weekend with the Houston Astros. On the verge of falling almost out of the pennant chase in the National League West, the Astros tried to get healthy at the expense of the National League's leading team, no less, as Houston went up against the Mets today. Nolan Ryan achieved a milestone. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but first, his counterpart, Sid Fernandez, reached Ryan with a base hit on the left field line that plated Dave Magadan. Mets led 3-0 early, but the Astros started chipping away, and in the second inning, watch this. Gerald Young off first base, goes for second. That blinding speed, Mackey Sesser's throw bounces into center field. Young never hesitates, makes it to third base. This is how speed will get you runs. 3 pitches later, Sid Fernandez on the hill, and Sid decides it's his turn to bounce one off Sasser's shin guard. Young scores. It's 3-2 Mets, and here come the Astros. In the 5th, the Astros strung 3 hits in a row together to score 3 runs. Broken back bleeder by Buddy Bell into left field, plated Kevin Bass. Astros up 4-3. Next batter was Billy Hatcher. He banged one up the middle. Glenn Davis coming around to score. Here's Glenn Dykstra's throw up and toward the plate. Davis is among those at the Dodger Pirate game tonight, and early on, look at that throw by Mike Scioscia. It looked so bad, it was terrible, but they called interference on Darnell Coles, and so Bobby Bonilla had to go back to first. Didn't matter. Sid Bream was walked. Bonilla made his way to second anyway, and here comes Mike LaValliere. Hadn't homered all year, and he turned on one off Sean Hilligus and parked it. A 3-run blast, and Barry Bonds later added a 3-run blast, and the Pirates used those big taters off the Dodger pitchers to beat L.A., and so Pittsburgh has won 4 straight and now moves to within 4.5 games of the New York Mets. Meanwhile, the Cubs have lost 4 in a row and feel the Expos heat.
Now to that Tigers victory over Oakland. Bottom of the 3rd, and Lou Whitaker. This is your upper deck shot. A 3-run job. His 6th of the year. Tom Brookins and Dave Bergman score 4-0 Tigers. Bottom of the 7th, 4-2 Tigers. Walt Weiss saves a run here. Runners at first and second. The diving stab up the middle. Gets the 4th at second. The throw to first is saved. Jose Canseco, there will be no question on this one. Leading off the 8th inning with a rocket of Guillermo Hernandez. Changed his name, but not the outcome of this one. 4-3 the A's, and I should say 4-3 the Tigers. That's the way it ended for Canseco. His 24th home run of the year. That leads the majors. The victory, the 800th for Sparky Anderson as a Tigers manager. Twins had a chance to move within 3.5 of the A's. Well, he'll probably get some votes. Kirby Puckett. Homers to left field take a 4-1 lead. Paul Molitor, who played second base tonight, that's where he was voted in at the All-Star game, normally a third baseman, doubles to left. That brings in 2 runs. It's 4-3 Twins. Then we go to the top of the 9th with Jim Gantner. He singles to right. Hamilton and Paul Molitor will score, or at least Molitor will give it a shot. Slides in, beats the throw, and Milwaukee beats the Twins by the count of 5-4. Dan Plesac got his 21st save of the year. California over Cleveland. 4th straight win for the Angels. Tony Armas went 3 for 4, including a 3-run homer. The Angels have won 16 of their last 22. John?
They split on Friday, and Saturday's second game featured Roger Clemens threw a whale of a ball game. This was a tough one for Roger. Second game at Comiskey Park, and Rocket Roger really motoring them among those who went down. Darrell Boston, 15 strikeouts tonight for Roger Clemens. White Sox starter Jeff Bittiger, though, kept the Red Sox in check. Fred Manrique with a little bit of a daring do for the catch. Meanwhile, the game was tied at 1 in the 6th because the Red Sox weren't giving any support to Mr. Clemens. And Gary Reedus had singled, stole second, and Dan Pasqua bounced one past Jody Reed. Reedus motored home to give the White Sox a 2-1 lead, and Clemens would not get into the decision. In the ninth, though, with one out, Todd Benzinger with his team down by a run tied it. Look at this ball jump off Benzinger's bat deep into the stands and right, and we went to extra innings. In the 10th, Red Sox got some help from Mike Woodard, the second baseman, who bobbled it, couldn't hang on, and everybody was safe, and that loaded the bases. Ricky Horton came in to pitch, and Ellis Burks made him pay, banged one up the middle. 2 runs scored. Boston plated 6 runs in the inning and broke it open after trailing in the 9th to win 8-2 over the White Sox in the second game. As I said, too bad that Roger Clemens didn't get the win despite allowing only 4 hits and striking out 15 batters. In the earlier game in the evening, it was long ball time. They played. Ellis Burks had a big day yesterday and yet another big day today. This long home run. Watch the fan out here. That's one of the best catches of the day. Boston led 4-0. Bottom of the 4th, though, was all White Sox. Dan Pasqua really turns on one. Another fan up there made a great grab. A 2-run home run. Boston's lead was cut in half. Next batter is Greg Walker, and he turns on one. And watch this thing go. I mean, he must have hit this 440 feet or so as it went out of the park, and it was back-to-back home runs. And for good measure, against Boston, it was Boston. Darrell Boston hits out of here. Back-to-back-to-back. First time the White Sox have done that since 1985. Wes Gardner was getting shelled. Meanwhile, in the 7th inning, Harold Baines came up. Guess what? He didn't hit a home run. Well, but he did enough damage, pulling one fair inside the line and right, doubling home Steve Lyons. And the White Sox have pulled out an 8-7 victory. And so the two teams played 4 games in 2 days. Both teams won twice. Elsewhere at Exhibition Stadium, the Mariners pounded out 15 hits, including Steve Balboni's 3-run home run. Toronto has a losing record at home, really struggling, the Jays. In Baltimore, Jim Traber and Ken Gerhard hit back-to-back home runs. What's interesting is that they hit them off Charlie Huff, who had gone 72 innings on the road without allowing a home run.